Small but mighty.
Small and mighty. Hear us roar. We are here. The congregants are here. Kind of.
I did.
Oh, scared?
What?
Because your phone takes 100 breaks down.
Oh, does
I
it?
thought you were coming out of it.
No, I got it. But I knew you were coming tonight.
Well, I said you could.
Yeah, okay. Usually I get invited by the choir and then I have to go to my brother's. Okay. So I appreciate
I
it.
wanted to extend it.
I appreciate it. But yeah, and going to my brother's is like be there and it's long. He doesn't get there until
He's awesome.
so I usually do the choir thing and hang out with them and talk to them and things and take them over sometime. But thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you how exhausted I am right now.
Rachel's very excited. I don't know what bond this is you formed with your kids. What night?
They'll be excited to see her too. They will. They will. She's a sweetheart. Lots of sweet people in our congregation. So it's Shabbat, it's a day of rest. I say we just take this as a nap time. That's good, right? Right. You're sermoned out by now, right? Right.
That wasn't how I was going to start. Are you awake?
It's a good contrast, awake and asleep. Restful and present. Circle Shabbat. Well, I guess the question is, are you awake? Yeah. Excellent, excellent. That is a wonderful, wonderful answer. And I will try to stay awake. I've had my cup of coffee, which we heard probably too much about recently. So I am prepared. Yes, right. And I'm delighted to be here celebrating this Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat of return, the special Shabbat that falls between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur with all of you. And lucky you, there are some little extra inserts that we add into our prayers during this service. They're not too long, but they kind of, again, mark the special sacredness of this particular day. And this is the one time of the year that we get to read those inserts. We always skip over them, and some people are like, what is that? That Shabbat Shuvah, you know, where did it comes here. Today, Hayom, is the day that we read those special blessings. So one of the wonderful things that we get to do together. I'm also going to wish you, as has been our custom, to wish those around you, those you're excited to see, those you haven't seen in a little while, which probably isn't too many people because we've been around for many services very recently. But wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Maybe the people watching virtually.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's right. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And the Cantor and I are delighted to be here with you this evening. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to start now with our candle lighting on page 120 and 121. It's my honor to invite up Roberta to help us lead the candle lighting. When you reach the page, if you are comfortable and able, I invite you to rise. So this right here.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. So you're going to light the...
Is this okay to do it with my left hand?
Yeah, you just make sure you're holding to it.
When do we start?
As soon as...
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Please be seated. We're going to continue now with our Lecha Dodi prayer on page 138 and 139. Tonight we'll be singing verses 1, 5, and 9. And once we reach verse 9, we'll invite you to rise as we let in our Sabbath bride.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, ki ba'orech u'mi'uri, u'uri נקבלה. בואי לשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך לך דודי דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשב ונקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשב ונקבלה.
We continue now with our Chatzi Kaddish, our metaphorical breath or pause amidst the service, page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
מה בברא חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
We now prepare for our Baruch Hu, our call to worship, which we sing out together. I know, I want to go to the evening service. So, page 264. We rise as we pray out together.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim. We continue responsively in the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom.
Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures.
Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth.
Baruch atah Adonai HaMariv Aravim.
Amen. Page 266.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amacha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochbei בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. We now come to our Shema prayer found on page 267. I invite you to rise if it is your custom to do so as we sing out together in one voice for one God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated as we continue chanting on the next page.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשיטתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We continue now on page 269. We pray responsively in the English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp, as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norot ilot osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u v'nai. Zeli anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov uge'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Amen. We read the first paragraph together. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Page 271. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. We now turn to page 272 for our Vishamru on the top of the page.
Veshamru bnei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We now prepare for our tefillah, our standing prayer, one of the core parts of our worship service. And this, my friends, is where we have some of those Shabbat Shuvah inserts within our prayers. We're going to start on page 273, continue to page 274, and all the way through page 276. We will proclaim God as having a special relationship with each matriarch and patriarch. We will proclaim God's strength, and we will speak of God's holiness, the same holiness that we are digging deep within our souls to find, to return to throughout this High Holy Day season. We stand as we begin together on page 273.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Haste Avot Ve'imaot, Umevi Geulah Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Zochreinu lechaim, Melech Hafetz b'chaim, Vechotveinu b'sefer ha'chaim, Lema'anecha Elohim chaim, Melech Ozer, Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Amen. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatav, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, Michamocha Avarachamim, Avarachamim, Zocher Yitzurav lechaim berachamim, V'ne'emanata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukadoshim b'chol yom yalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh.
Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Praised are you, Adonai, holy, sovereign. Amen. Please be seated. Page 279. We read in the English together. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. May our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. We now turn to page 281. We consider the things that we are thankful for, not only for this week, but for the past year. Perhaps there have been wondrous moments, moments of joy, moments of togetherness, moments of connection. Perhaps there have been some of the most difficult moments, but moments in which friends and family and community came together for solace and comfort and support. Either way, these moments are precious and sacred. I ask we hold on to them in our hearts and our thoughts as we read responsively this prayer for thanks. Hoda'ah. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise is the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. Inscribe all the children of your covenant for a good life. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lecha na'eh lehodot. We turn now to our Shalom Rav prayer, our prayer for peace, certainly the most precious of all gifts.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We continue now with silent prayer and thought and meditation and personal moments.
shalom bimroha. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We're going to continue on page 123 for our Kiddush. I'd like to invite up Barbara to help us lead the Kiddush. I know it's a little bit more page turning than we're used to, so we'll give it extra moment. And when you reach the page, you may rise. We're going to read the English on page 122. So we'll do this and this, and then we'll sing.
Nice and big, all right.
Yes, yes.
And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. And the heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. And on the seventh day God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'ratzon inchilanu zikaron lemaaseh b'reishit ki hu yom techila lo nikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
L'chaim. No,
mine's not
mine's the grape juice. She's got the real
Mine
one.
is-
She's a different kind of
Mine's
one.
Moscato.
That's right. We've got all sorts of fruit of the vine up here. For those of you who are really curious, there's some Manischewitz, Moscato, some grape juice. We've got all our bases covered. And as the saying goes, 2 Jews, 3 opinions. It holds on to the wine. And by the way, there are other kosher wines, in case you were curious, that besides the Manischewitz and the Mogen David, that have different tastes. But conversation for another time, and I digress. So we're going to move on now to our Torah service, which is on page 362, for which we will remain standing for, and which I will invite up Rich and Gil to help me with my scrolls tonight, and we will pray together as we bring out our scrolls.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Source of mercy, favor Zion with your goodness. Rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, for in you alone do we trust. Sovereign, high, and exalted, God eternal. We turn the page.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now.
Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
We turn the page.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai iti umeromemo Shemo Yadav. Lecha Adonai hagedula ve'hagevura ve'atiferet ve'anetzach ve'ahon. Ki chol bashamayim u'ba'aretz, ki chol bashamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'mitnaseh lechol erosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Torah ve'al avoda ve'al gemilut chasadim. Torah ve'al avoda ve'al gemilut chasadim. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu ve'al kodsho. להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו.
Thank you. It's the season of forgiveness. Please be seated.
I don't get to do that yet.
No, it's in
I
there.
know. I know.
Okay, so our Torah portion this evening, Vayela, it's a very short Torah portion. It's not, I was talking to Seth about this earlier, it's not, a lot of times it's combined with another portion, and as Seth mentioned, it kind of leaves you on a hanging note. Stay tuned until next time to find out the poem, which is actually a really special thing. And if you come up here and take a look of the scroll, you can kind of...
You're going to see it upside down, because I'm not doing it that way.
But if you see this, see the two columns there, right? Hazinu, that's the poem. So one of the really cool
That's
things
next
about our... Yes, that's next week. Let's just wait. We're good. Torah safe. I'm watching everyone's face.
Oh, really?
That's one of the vantage points of being able to stand from this perspective. But one of the really cool things about our scroll is that the poems are written in particular ways to designate them as special moments and special poems. And it's interesting also that as Moses goes on rambling and rambling and rambling about his last moments of wisdom, trying to get that in before the end, that he decides to use a poem to put his words into. And he talks about that in this portion, which is part of what we're going to read. We're going to be reading Deuteronomy verses 31, 22 through 23, or chapter 31, verse 22 through 23, which can be found on this handout that I put by the Kipot, or also for those of you that are following.
That's the right Chumash.
It is? It
Yeah,
is?
see, Chumash.
Okay. Well, on page 890.
In the other book.
In the
there's
other book,
Chumash.
if you're looking in that one. Depending on what kind of language you're looking for and what kind of translation or interpretation you prefer.
Put that here. Oh, never mind.
Would you like me to?
No,
Well, let me
okay.
just call up the Aliyah first, and then after that, I'll put that there. So we're gonna call up Stephanie to lead us in our Aliyah. Ta'amot Sarah Leah bat Yonatan la'Aliyah.
This is the only word I forget. Everything else I got.
Baruch et Adonai HaMavarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baruch banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. ויכתוב משה את השירה הזאת ביום ההוא, וילמדה את בני ישראל. ויצב את יהושע בן נון, ויאמר חזק ואמץ, כי אתה תביא את בני ישראל אל הארץ אשר נשבעתי להם, ואנוכי אהיה עמך.
And that day, Moses wrote a poem, this poem on that day, and taught it to the children of Israel. And God commanded Joshua, son of Nun, saying, "Be strong, be resolute, for you are going to take out the children of Israel to the land that I promised to them. and I will be there with you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
That was beautiful. So, with the Sefer Torah, our sacred scroll, in our midst, our thoughts now turn to those who are in need of healing, whether physical or spiritual. In particular, we are keeping in our minds and hearts Patty Abrams, Mike Allen, Joyce and Jim Amato, Lee Bialer, Jean Blackman, Elizabeth Brooks, Gilda Barak, Dory Byan, Roberta Cooperman, Susanna Kvitch, Dr. Vincent Detrinas, Dr. Neal, Sharon Eckes, Phyllis Eisenberg, Lenny Eisler, Tom Ellsbury, Janet Falco, Dorothy Farrell, David Freed, Bob Ferguson, Tyrone Gibbons, Dorothy Gilbert, Martin Goldstein, Paul Greenfield, Luis Gutierrez, Jennifer Gonclaves, Thea Gunther, Gina Haff, Sydney Hart, Peter Haynes, Mark Harris, Denise Karp, Lee Kaufman, Michael Lakin, Cecile Lishnick, Barbara Maloney, Alyssa Markle, Frank Michelson, Kim Lorenzo, Joan Mello, Janessa Michelson, Marva Migdal, Roberta Miller, Eli Mueller, Steve Napolitano, Christine Newman, Hunter O'Leary, Lois Oringer, Mark Pardaman, Stephanie Pluka, Sharon Portnoy, Jennifer Ann Riley, Demetrius Regas, Martin Reiger, Ethan Roginski, Lonnie Rosenfeld, Marlene Rosalinsky, Beth Roth, Helene Rothstein, Bernie Schwartz, Benjamin Shalhevet, Jerry Saracini, Jan Silverman, Tom Smith, Les Bergel, Jill Burbeck, Marvin Wyman, Jenna Weisberg, Allison Wexler, Barry and Cynthia Willens, Esther Wilkins, Merrill Williams, and Abby Zeltman. There are names to add, or names that I might have inadvertently mispronounced. Please say them at this time. Yes, Roberta.
Jessica Cora and Selena Romo.
Yes. Stephanie. Gil.
Matthew Zender, Alejandro Tomas Nava, and Dennis Fagan.
Yes. For those of you online, if you have names to add, I invite you to do so at this time. We turn to the middle of page 371 for our Misha Barach prayer, our prayer of healing. We sing together. Misha Barach, Avotenu, Vikor Abraham, Imotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find could all use a little extra healing. And for those of you who need to take a name off of the list or to add a name to the list, please be in touch with Karen in the office so that we can keep that list as updated and current as possible. And thank you for that help. We're going to now do our Torah lifting, our Hagba, which is a standing moment. It's at the bottom of page 370. And as soon as we're done with that, we're going to return our Torah scroll to the Ark, which takes place on 374, just a few pages later. Not too much turning. As the scroll turns, please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
Page 374. Yahalelu et Shem Adonai ki nisgad shemo levado.
Hodol al eretz v'shamayim vayavrem ke'el amo tehila lechol chasida libanei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Return us to you, Adonai, and we will return. Renew our days as of old.
It's high, למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה מאושרת דרכיה, דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
Please be seated. That's right, another sermon. In our Torah portion for tonight by Yelech, Moses is at the end of his speech that has been going on for the last several Torah portions. In our portion we read, that day Moses wrote down this poem and taught it to the Israelites. The fact that he decides to communicate this last bit of knowledge through poetry is fascinating. Perhaps he chooses this format to make his teachings more memorable or more timeless. Whatever the original intent is, a poem can be much more personable than an ongoing speech, certainly the kind of speech that he's been delivering in some of his previous portions. Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt is likewise fascinated by this choice. She writes a poem inspired by the verse. This poem aims to cover everything that could ever happen to you. It includes instructions for celebrating festivals, And the mission of slaves, building altars, the punishment of disobedient children, descriptions of how the cosmos came to be, and how our holiest sites should recapitulate the orderly progression of God's attributes. This poem seems to have all the answers, but it doesn't even have all the questions. This poem doesn't tell you how to feel when you're sitting in Sheol and wishing the sun would break through the clouds. This poem often contradicts itself. Often. This poem has a lot to say about television, the internet, the stories we tell ourselves, about who we really are in the world, though it says all these things obliquely. Thus, those who understand, understand. That's the way the poem shakes out. This poem is written in intricate code, each letter secretly a number, and each number symbolically of something incredibly important, though we've forgotten at least half of the meanings we once knew once upon a time by heart. This poem weighs heavily on our shoulders. It ties our insides in mystical knots. Sometimes this poem tastes like wildflower honey, and other times like homemade ink dissolved in water that hasn't been stirred. This poem is old-fashioned. This poem is being written right this second. Each breath, a new letter on the unrolling page. As I read this poem tonight, it reminds me not only of a lovely, wonderful poet who is a wonderful the value of passing down our personal lessons and values. In Judaism, there is a traditional history of writing what we call an ethical will, a letter passed on to our loved ones that contains nothing short of our deepest teachings and hopes for the next generation, for a child, a grandchild, a friend, or a colleague. As My Jewish Learning, the website, explains, there's a deep Jewish historical precedence for this practice. In biblical times, ethical wills were almost instructional and became a record of a person's final wishes near death. The patriarch Jacob blessed his children and told them where he wanted to be buried. The Talmud contains references to verbal ethical wills, instructions left by sages and scholars. As Rabbi Eliezer, a notable scholar, he criticized his students for not taking advantages of the opportunities that they had to learn from him. His aim was to inspire his students to learn from his teachings even after he had died. In the Middle Ages, ethical wills were shared privately among families. One of the most famous from the time was written by a Spanish Jewish physician and scholar in France in the 12th century, and it ran over 50 pages long. Can you imagine? It covered a wide range of topics, from the importance of books to the harsh rebuke of his son, whom he felt wasn't living up to his expectations. After the Holocaust, ethical wills became a tool to help future generations understand how Jews who survived held on to their faith despite the suffering that they endured. Today, the practice has been revisited and revitalized by authors like Rabbi Jack Reimer, who tout the emotional health and well-being of the practice. Each of us contains a life full of wisdom, compassion, and experiences that are far more valuable than the material goods that we bequeath one another. Our ethical wills are the essence of our souls, the Torah within, the truth that we live by. As we continue to participate in our High Holy Day season and we search our souls and we rack our brains and we try to figure out who we are and our best selves, I encourage you to start a letter to a loved one. Write about your goals, your hopes, your essence, your Torah. Even if you don't send it along or keep it, this poem of your life will help solidify and concretize your goals for the coming year. May we all be inspired to share our stories, our wisdom, our teachings, and may they be received with grace, humility, and love. Keni hi ratzon, may this be God's will. Shabbat shalom. We're going to continue now in our prayer service with our Aleinu prayer, which can be found starting on page 586 at the bottom. If you are able and inspired, please rise and join us as we pray.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגולי ארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. This week, we keep in our minds and our thoughts those whom we're in a period of Shaloshim, of 30 days of mourning, Judy Weisblatt. In addition, those whose yard sites fall on this evening. Harry Bloshinsky, Tessie Brodrowski, Molly Borko, Harvey Byen, Irving J. Cohen, Sam Cutler, Mary Dresnick, Mary Elizabeth Dukas, Rachel Dworkin, Sophie Falk, Irene Fine, Charles Fishman, Louis Fishman, Bertha Goldman, Ida K. Heller, Sydney Cass, Ida Katz, Dr. Ludwig Chris, Inez Lee, Morris Lindner, Barbara Menace, Michael Michelson, Benjamin Mitzman, Rhoda Michella, Faye Judith Oberletter, Fanny Pomerantz, Gladys Ratson, Susan B. Rayner, Alvin Resnick, Leo Rosenberg, Max Rosenfeld, Benjamin Reuben Schneider, David Satper, Jerry Schwartz, Max Somberg, Simon Spiegelman, Murray Stambler, Thelma Sternstein, Benjamin Vale, Bessie Wexler, Roberta Zinn, Moses Zuckerman, and Marion Kaplan. If there are names to add or names that I might have inadvertently mispronounced, I invite you to add those names at this time. For those watching online, if you would like to add a name, now's your opportunity to do so. We turn now to our Kaddish Yatom, our Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. I invite you to rise if it is your custom to do so as we pray together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, Bagalau bisman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to the world, to which we say,
Amen.
please be seated. It is now my honor and privilege to invite up our dedicated and hardworking president, Paul Weber, to share some wonderful announcements about the amazing things going on in our congregational community.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You are welcome.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There are still some Monday night football boxes available for sale by the Brotherhood. They are $20 per box. Please see Gil Sachs at the ONEG. Sisterhood is collecting money towards the fight against breast cancer. Please see Deb Brack at the ONEG to make your donation or follow the link on the Temple website. Food cards are now available for Stop and Shop and Best Market. If you'd like to purchase them for yourself or purchase them and donate them back to the temple for our food drive, please see Rich Linder at the ONEG. Join us for a Sukkot Harvest Festival potluck on Sunday, October 13th at 5:30 p.m. Information is in the lobby on what you can bring. Please RSVP or visit the temple website. Our adult classes have just begun and will continue until April 6th. If interested in Intro to Judaism, Hebrew, and or adult confirmation class, please call the temple office. This coming week on Sunday, we have a cemetery service at New Montefiore Cemetery at 10:30 a.m. and a service at Washington Memorial Park at 11:30 p.m. On Monday night, our senior youth group meets at 6 p.m. On Tuesday, we have Kol Nidre service at 8 p.m. On Wednesday, we have a full day. Morning service starts at 9:30 a.m., family service at 1:15 p.m., afternoon service at 2:15 p.m., Yitzker service at 4:30 p.m., and concluding service at 5:15 p.m. On Friday, our service is at 7:15 p.m. It is for grade 6, and it will be a pink Shabbat. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to conclude the service with the singing of Shalom Aleichem, which you can find on page 627. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasha'aret, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi
take a moment to gather for a quick closing blessing, and then we head out to our oneg to break bread together and to sing in prayer. Boachem l'shalom, zeitchem l'shalom. May we have entered in peace. May we depart in peace. May we bring peace to those that we love and in our lives through our stories and our blessings, through our action and our deeds. May this Shabbat be one that is special, together, and full of meaning. And may we head into our High Holy Day services in the upcoming week with extra strength and vitality for a long day of prayer, teshuvah, tzedakah, and tefillah. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Perhaps I had to turn off my microphone so I don't